Today I'm going to show you how to use gouache to create calligraphy. Now first of all, here are all of the things that you're going to need to do this. You need a palette or an airtight container like this one. You need some gouache. One color will be just fine. Note that you can blend these together. So if you have more than one, you can always blend them. You'll need a piece of paper, obviously, a brush, a calligraphy pen. You don't have to use an oblique, you can use a straight, and you can use any nib. I'm using the Browse Extra Fine 66. Something to add water to the gouache, so I've got my syringe here. And then you'll need some water. Officially, I should tell you to use distilled water. I actually don't do that, so I say use whatever water you want. Okay. So let's get started here. First, you'll select a color of gouache that you want to use. I'm going to use yellow today. Next, you will just put a little squeeze in the container that you plan on using. And then as far as how much water to add, I wish I could tell you an exact amount, but the amount of gouache you squeeze out is so subjective that all I can really say is start off with just a little bit of water. I mean, we're talking just a couple of drops. And then you're going to use your brush to mix it. And the consistency you're looking for here is the consistency of heavy whipping cream. So you want it to be, relatively thick, but not super watery. And I'm going to move my palette around a bit to see if that is the consistency I got. I think that I want just a tad more gouache in there. So I'm going to add some. And then if you have the opposite problem where your mixture is too thick, of course you will add more water. So then mix, mix, mix. You'll just mix until it's smooth. Okay, so now that looks good. Now if you watched the watercolor crash course video, you know how to apply this. You'll just put it on the back of your nib here. And since this is a tiny nib, I'm going to have to reapply a lot just to warn you in advance. But if you're using a larger nib like the Nico G, then you shouldn't have to reapply too much. And then you just write like you would with any other ink. And see how smoothly that flows? And then, like I said, I'm going to have to reapply here. You probably won't have to if you're not using this nib or a small nib like this, but I really love this nib. And then I'm going to reapply once more. And there you go. Now the advantage to using gouache over any other ink really is you can do colors like yellow on black. You normally can't do that. You can also mix the colors together like I said. Like I did this sort of ivy green color with white and green, and you can see that I use that for the gouache giveaway artwork. And so yeah, it's just a really cool thing to use for calligraphy. It's not, vital to your calligraphy practice, but if you're looking for something to treat yourself to on your next artistic shopping spree, definitely try out some of these.